Alright, here's a little before. The old crappy tires. And two 25-year-old spares. And then we're gonna put on these bad boys over here. A little dark, but those are gonna look pretty good. Federals, you know, not bad. Okay, I'm so excited. Here's a taste. I want to show you the whole thing until I clean them up. But that's pretty beefy. Well, good morning, guys. Let's see here. It's been a couple days since I put on the tires. I've been waiting for, the bully bar to come in. I want to get the final shot with the bully bar and the new tires, and I've got to paint the cowl pieces. I've got white overspray on them somehow. At some point, someone tried to paint the white over the peeling paint, but we'll get that put on today. I'll show you the process of going through that and what we have to take off the front bumper on this thing, if anything. I have no idea. So here's the hardware that it came with: 8 nuts and bolts and lock washers and 16 flat washers. It's come with these weird bolts, and then these 2 brackets here. Now the thing with these bolts is, according to the directions, if you already have the tow hooks, you use the existing bolts and nuts, I guess you'd call them. Inside the frame there's a plate like this with nuts welded onto them, not bolts. But so if you have hooks, you don't use these, you use the existing hardware that it shows here. And if you don't have the tow hooks, then you use the supplied hardware. And then there's that thing right there. This is a Bully brand, Aries edition. And as far as the packaging goes, it was really good. The brackets came completely covered in a ton of styrofoam and bubble wrapping. And the plating's really clean. It's not dented. The finish, the coating seems to be pretty good so far, but we'll see over time. So now I think we need to take off the hooks on the truck. So according to the diagram, these are the tow hooks. It doesn't say which way to put them on the outside of the hook or sandwich them in between, but I'm going to sandwich the bully bar in between the hook and the frame, just for more surface area coverage, I guess. And hopefully, I don't know, I did some preliminary holding up to it, and the brackets run into the edge of the hook. So, I don't know, hopefully the brackets will allow it to drop down just a little lower, and the bully bar will come out just underneath the hook. But it does have to slide in those holes right there. So let's zip these off real quick. So here's the hooks off. I just kind of wiped them clean and wire brushed the frame there a little bit, just by hand, because I didn't want to remove too much paint or anything. But I did clean up the brushes and put some Loctite on there. Or the brushes. What are those? Those are bolts. And now we're going to try and sandwich.
I'll hold your phone.
You're going to hold my phone?
Yep.
Okay, so we got to sandwich this in between that and the frame rail up here. Okie dokie?
Yep.
Alright, so Let's start with a flat washer and a lock washer. Kind of thinking we don't need the flat washer with the hook because we're already like, I don't know, because it didn't have one on there. Alright, so it looks like I'm not going to be able to keep the hooks. With the bracket sandwiched in between, that bracket ends up being right where the hook wants to be, and this big fat 3-inch bar is going to want to be there. That's going to take up all of this space, and you're not going to be able to have a hook there. Yeah, I thought about flipping the hook over, but I'd have to cut this out a little bigger because the hook runs into that. But then, you know, you got this here, so you're not even going to be able to use the hooks. Even if I figured out a way to make them fit, it'd be behind the bull bar, and you wouldn't be able to use them. So, hooks off. So there's the plate that I told you about. Well, yeah, it's just a plate that's got two threaded holes drilled into it. And it's kind of a tricky task, but you gotta hold the plate and the bracket. Let's see here if I can get the camera in there. And try to thread in the bolt. Now, another thing I noticed too, I don't know if I already mentioned this, but they drilled the short slots on the long part here on the long leg, and the long slots on the short leg on this bracket. On this bracket, it's the opposite. They got the short slots on the short leg and the long slots on the long leg, but hopefully that's not going to be a problem. So let's see if I can get this one in as easy. I got the other side in. Oh, there it goes. Okay, now let's see if we can slide the bully bar in. I need some hardware. Alright, the only thing I don't know is if it's going to work best with the brackets on the inside or the outside. Okay, so outside will work. Let's see if we can get a couple. You know what? Ah. Okay, so check this out. The license plate bracket is touching, or the bar's touching the license plate bracket. And it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to scoot back far enough to reach those. Which also might mean removing these guys too. There's a little space to go, but I think we're just going to remove both of those bumpers and the license plate. Alright, well it took some finessing when I got the bracket on. And I got the bully bar bolted onto the bracket. Let's see here. Can't really get a good shot there. And I got tolerances like right there. I think this other side is actually touching. It is. That's kind of what I wanted on the other side, but let's see. We might be a hair off to the right, but that's easy to adjust. Let's pull it out. All right, here it is in the sun. Boom. New tires, new bush guard, and I got to keep that valance. That looks pretty cool. Gives it a little look like it's meant to do something. And the new tires here, matching rims for the first time since I've owned it. This thing's ready to ride. I just got to get rid of that stupid squeak that the exhaust is making. Found out it's the pipe rubbing up against the differential part of the rear end. Let's get a look at this thing one more time, because that is sweet. Yes, it is. Alright guys, well, that's gonna do it. Thanks for watching. See you later.